The whispers started the moment she stepped into the ballroom. Not loud, not obvious, but sharp enough to slice through the music, the laughter and the tinkling glasses. The bride's guests shifted in their seats. Servers paused mid-step. Even the string quartet hit a wrong note, because the woman who entered, tall, black, poised, wearing a simple navy dress, was the only person in the room that nobody wanted to acknowledge. Her name was Ava Morgan. To them, she didn't belong. Not in this lavish hotel. Not in a wedding where every face was polished, every life curated, every secret tightly wrapped. She walked in alone. No designer bag, no diamond jewelry, just quiet confidence. The kind that unsettles people who hide behind money. Ava looked around, searching for a friendly face. She found none. A blonde woman at the registration desk forced a smile. The gift table is over there. And the restroom is not open to guests from outside? Ava blinked. I'm invited, she said softly. I'm on the groom's list. The blonde's smile cracked. Then came that look, the one Ava knew too well, suspicion wrapped in politeness. Oh, well, let me check. People in line behind her shifted, annoyed. A man muttered, probably crashing the wedding. Ava heard him. She always heard them, but she didn't react. Her mother had taught her early. Dignity is your armor, Ava. Wear it even when they try to strip it away. Finally, the attendant found her name. Oh, you are. Indeed invited. Her tone suggested shock. Ava simply nodded and walked inside. But the seating was no better. At table 14, the farthest from the stage, guests barely greeted her. Some turned their chairs away. Others spoke around her, not to her. She sat quietly, folding her hands in her lap. And yet, despite the coldness, she watched the ceremony with warmth in her eyes, as if she carried a story the rest of them were too blind to see. When the ceremony began, the ballroom lights softened. The guests leaned forward. The groom, Daniel Whitmore, walked onto the stage, polished, handsome, adored by everyone in the room. Everyone except Ava, perhaps. But she did watch him closely. Daniel began reading his vows to the bride, Isabella, whose beauty seemed engineered for magazines. The audience sighed. But then, Daniel's eyes drifted across the room, past the bridesmaids, past the families, past his old college friends, until they fell on Ava, and everything changed. He froze. The bride noticed first. Her smile faltered. The officiant whispered, "Daniel?" But Daniel stayed still, his breath caught, his voice gone. Because the woman everyone ignored, the woman seated at the forgotten table, the woman people whispered about, was the one person he had prayed to see again. His eyes filled, but he blinked it away quickly. The crowd murmured. Isabella tugged his hand. "Honey, are you okay?" He forced a smile. Yes, just give me one moment." But he wasn't okay. His entire world had tilted. He returned to reading his vows, but they sounded different now. Softer, heavier, honest in a way he hadn't planned. And Ava watched him, her expression unreadable. But if anyone had looked closely at her hands, they would have seen them trembling. After the ceremony, guests flooded the reception hall. Laughter, toasts, photos. Everything glittered with celebration, except table 14. Ava remained alone. Again, a waiter passed her twice without offering a drink. A couple shifted their chairs so their backs faced her. A group of bridesmaids walked by, whispering, "Who invited her? I've never seen her at any Whitmore event. Maybe she's the help?" Ava took a quiet breath and stared at the dance floor, pretending she didn't hear. But the truth was, there was no place she had ever belonged less, or so she thought. Because when the groom stepped up to the microphone for his speech, he didn't thank the venue, or the guests, or even his parents at first. He began differently. He began with her. "I want to honor someone who shaped my life more than anyone in this room." Whispers shot through the hall. Isabella blinked in confusion. Daniel continued, voice trembling. "She is here today, and I don't think most of you know her. But without her, I would never have made it to this moment." The guests turned, scanning. Daniel took a breath, a big one. And then he said it. "Ava Morgan." The room went silent. Forks dropped. Music faded. Everyone twisted in there, seats to stare at the woman they had. Avoided all evening. Ava froze. She felt hundreds of eyes on her. Some curious, some irritated, some embarrassed. But Daniel wasn't done. He stepped down from the stage, walked across the ballroom, past the bride, past the VIP tables, until he reached her. Then, in front of everyone, he bent down and hugged Ava tightly. A gasp rippled through the room. Ava's eyes glistened. She whispered, "Daniel, you didn't have to—" "I did," he said. "I should have done it years ago." Daniel returned to the microphone, but this time, he held Ava's hand gently, guiding her to stand beside him. "Most of you know I grew up wealthy," he began. "But what you don't know is that my life wasn't perfect. My home was filled with anger, pressure, and expectations. I had everything money could buy, except kindness." People shifted uncomfortably. His parents stiffened. He continued, "When I was 12, I was spiraling, angry, alone, and one day, when I tried to run away, someone stopped me. Someone who didn't look down on me. Someone who didn't care about the Whitmore name." He turned to Ava. "That person was Ava Morgan, my neighbor. A 19-year-old girl who was going through her own struggles but still found time to save a lost kid." Ava swallowed hard. Daniel smiled softly. "She fed me when I was hungry, helped me with school, listened when I cried, protected me from my father's temper. She told me I mattered when no one else bothered to say it." Guests whispered. Even the bride watched uneasily. Daniel continued. "I promised her once when I was 13 that when I grew up I would find her. Thank her. Honor her. I didn't keep that promise." His voice cracked. "But today, and I will." He turned to the crowd. "If you avoided her tonight, ignored her, judged her, you judged the person who gave me the courage to become the man standing before. You, silence, pure heavy silence." Ava wiped a tear. Daniel looked at her with the tenderness of a man seeing a part of his childhood again, the part that kept him alive. "Ava Morgan," he said, "you saved me. You shaped me. You are my family. And I will spend the rest of my life making sure you are never invisible again." A wave of emotion hit the room. Shame, awe, regret. Guests rose to their feet. In a slow rising ovation, Ava stood stunned. Tears flowing freely now. The people who had rejected her moments ago were now clapping for her. But she wasn't thinking of them. She was thinking of the little boy she once protected, and the man he had finally become. After the speech, everything shifted. A bridesmaid approached Ava timidly. I'm really sorry about earlier. I didn't know." Ava smiled softly. "It's okay. Most people don't." Daniel's mother came over next, red-eyed, ashamed. "I should have thanked you years ago," she whispered. Ava nodded, accepting but not excusing. Then Isabella, the bride, approached. At first, her expression was unreadable, but then she extended her hand warmly. "Daniel speaks about you like you're the best part of his childhood," she said. "I hope we can be family too." Ava exhaled the breath she didn't know she was holding. "I'd like that." As the night went on, Ava found herself dancing, laughing, even taking photos with people who earlier pretended she didn't exist. But the most touching moment came near the end. The DJ dimmed the lights and said, "This next dance is dedicated to the woman who taught the groom what love really looks like." Daniel walked to Ava again. "May I have this dance?" he asked. Ava chuckled, wiping tears. "You still step on feet?" He grinned. "Only yours." They danced, slow, gentle, full of memories. And for the first time that night, Ava didn't feel like a guest. She felt like she belonged. Because she did. Not because of the applause. Not because of the crowd. Not because she had been publicly acknowledged. But because the little boy she once saved had become a man who wasn't ashamed to show the world who helped shape him. As the lights shimmered above them, Daniel whispered, "I meant what I said. Your family." Ava squeezed his hand. "And so are you."